Hi everyone. I don't know, I am super excited about this edition of my YouTube story. You know why? Because I tried this outdoor video shooting and I'm looking at it right now. It looks so good. Anyway, I'm going to get right into what we're going to be talking about today. And it's around cost of living as a student in France. This video is for you if say you're just curious about what it's like to live in France, how much it's going to cost you on a monthly basis, or how much you're going to need to budget if you are planning to come as a student in France. I'll be breaking down some of the key areas of spending and the total average that one would have to spend as a student in France. So, thank you for joining me. Please do not forget to subscribe and like this video so that I can continue to come up with nice videos that can help people, that can help students that are considering traveling abroad, and also help just random people that want to just know what's happening. So, I'm going to start with where I am in France because I think living in abroad, Europe generally depends, your cost of living really depends on the particular area you live in. For example, I am staying in Nancy, which is not really a big city. And for people that stay in Paris, there's the probability that they would need to spend more than I am spending on a monthly basis. You get so currently I've lived at least 6 months in two European countries. I've lived in France for more than a year, and I stayed in Italy for about 6 months. So I have a rough idea of how much it's going to cost you if you want to come to France, or if you are planning to come to France. Yeah, both of them are the same. So let me start with the house rent. I think this is the one that takes the most of your money, maybe not up to 50%, but it takes a larger portion of whatever income you'll be getting or whatever amount of money you'll be spending in a month. So I'll divide into I am going to focus on student accommodation in France, which is cruise. I don't have much information about other platforms, other student accommodations except cruise. So maybe I'll do a research on that later, and I'll let you know how it is. But I am going to be focusing on students accommodation in France, provide the one provided by the government, which is cruise. And yeah, depending, it's also your rent is also dependent on whichever city that you'll be staying. But just know I divided the cost of rent into three categories, right? The first being between 150 euros and 200 euros. You can get an accommodation, particularly in my city, in Nancy. You can get an accommodation as cheap as between 150 and 200 euros on a monthly basis. And what is this accommodation like? It is a 9 meter square accommodation. You have a single bed and you have your fridge, you have all the necessary things that you could have in a room apart from your maybe plates, cutleries, and all of those. You're not going to find them all. In terms of furniture, all the necessary things that you need to survive, you'd have it. And the cost of rent is between 150 and 200. And note that this particular accommodation does not have a personal bathroom or a personal kitchen. You get so there's usually this general kitchen for everyone on a particular floor, or a general bathroom for everyone on a particular floor. And bathrooms are usually many. Of course, it's not like a single bathroom, but just know that you're sharing it with other people um living in that building, or living on that particular floor that you get. So the second range is between 200 and 300. If you find an accommodation between this range, there's a high probability of having your own personal bathroom or your toilet, but you may not necessarily have your kitchen. But some accommodations, funny enough, I saw one at the cruise website. I think it was around 280 euros per month, and it has all of the facilities. It has the bathroom, the toilet, it has the kitchen, and I don't know why it's that cheap. I don't know what area, but I just saw it when I was scrolling through. Maybe I'll find out and let you know. But most likely, you only have a bathroom in that room. You get your kitchen will be outside, so to you need to share a kitchen with other people. That means you have your personal kitchen utensils. So now, if you're a baller, you're a big girl, you're a big boy, and you can afford between 350 over 350 euros per month, you will get a very comfortable apartment with cruise, a very nice one, not so big, it's not usually big, so but you have your normal an actual bed space, you have an actual bed space, you have your bathroom, then you have a kitchen to yourself, so it's like a self-contained apartment. That's what I'll call it, but it's just a single door. It's mostly a single door where you enter and you have your room, you have a kitchen space, you have your bathroom, which are the three necessary things in an apartment. So let's just say that the cost of accommodation is on the average, let's say it's 350, because remember we're going to do the calculation of how much is going to cost you to live in France for a period of 1 month. So that one is 350. So we've noted we have 350. We are choosing 350 euros per month as our rent. Then the number 2 points would be on groceries, food. Feeding and groceries will take you around 200 euros. That's what I would say on the average, 200 euros. So if you mainly cook and you use cruise is like there's a restaurant, a student restaurant. Also, it's also known as cruise. We categorize many student things as cruise here. So the cruise restaurant, if you're going to be eating from the cruise restaurant plus you're cooking at home, the cruise restaurant, a meal is 3.3 euros per meal per plate. It's usually very it's like a balanced diet sort of. You have the food itself, then you have yogurt, you have fruit. So it's like a main full meal. It's 3.3 euros per plate. So if you're using that and you're cooking by yourself, just know that you can budget around 150 to 200 euros per month. So if you're in between, maybe you cook at the same time you love to eat outside, your spending will be between 200 and 300 euros on groceries, on food every single month. And if you're a high spender, you really depends on the type of food you eat, but if you're a high spender, maybe you go out a lot, just know that you'll be spending over 300 euros per month on feeding. So the third point that I wanted to take note of is transportation. So here in France, there are different packages in terms of transportation. If you're on a scholarship, there's a particular amount you pay. There's a reduced amount for you. If you're below the age of 26 years, there is um if you're below the age of 26 years, there's a particular amount you pay as well. But what I found out is that if you're between the age of, sorry, there's a B around. So subscription is typically 22 euros per month. Transportation subscription is typically 22 euros per month as a student that whose age is not yet above 26. If your age is above 26, I'm not exactly sure of how much it's going to cost you. And if you're on scholarship, if you're on a scholarship, you would have 70 euros per month. If you're on any form of scholarship, just show them the scholarship letter, then the amount is going to be reduced for you to 17 euros per month. Now let's talk about, I think these are the three major expenses. Other expenses, maybe like printing, extracurricular activities, we don't really, like, for me personally as a student, I don't really spend much on that. If I want to print something, it's quite cheap. I don't remember the exact amount, but it's in cents, so it's very insignificant. And maybe books, we don't buy books. For me, I don't buy books. I don't want to generalize it now, because there could be some persons that need to buy one or two things, but since I have gotten here, I've not had to buy like a handout or books. Usually they'll send your slides to you that you can study, and you can always go online to look for research papers to add to your knowledge. Then I think we've established 22 euros or 70 euros for transportation. Now let's go to subscription, monthly subscription data. Subscription is usually between 10 and 15 euros on a monthly basis. And trust me, the gig you get to be sufficient for you on a monthly basis. And if you're in cruise accommodation, just note that you have a free Wi-Fi. So your rent covers, yeah, I didn't mention initially, your rent covers everything, all the bills, electricity, water, maybe cleaning, but you have to clean your room, of course, but you don't need to, you're not cleaning outside of your room. So it covers all of that, including Wi-Fi. So you only majorly need the internet when you're outside of the school premises, or when you're outside of your hostel, outside of the student residence. That's when you only need the internet, and you need it so that you don't get lost, particularly if you're new here, so that you don't get lost in France. Now to yes, in total, I also need to add that if you're a student and you're coming newly here, we've already established the possible expenses. Also note that there are many student discounts for you to purchase things, like for you could get this discount on transportation, you could get discount on train, you could get discount even in the grocery store. There's a way to go about it. You just need to ask. You just need to ask questions from the officials or from your colleagues anyway, because it's like many people used to have that information that there's a discount at this place. If you go to some stores like Lidl, Carrefour, you could enjoy discount on groceries, clothes, even gym. Sometimes I'm not sure because I don't go to the gym. So now let's do our calculation. If you remember, I mentioned that we are selecting 350 euros for accommodation for your rent, then groceries around 200, then transportation 22, data let's say 15 euros, and maybe other things that you could spend on. Maybe you want to indulge in other things, and the total, when I did the total, it's around 650 thereabout approximately. So let's just say that, let's round it up to 700 euros per month as a student in France. Well, not me imagining the currency, imagining the conversion in my currency naira in a month. Well, yeah, so that is all that I have to say here. Please do not forget to subscribe. And if you have more questions, let me know in the comment section. I'll be happy to make videos on it. Thank you so much. And I think I like this greenery. Let me know what you think about it. Bye.